I have absolutely no idea how I am going to get through all of these projects I want to get through, and yet I am going to try to get through all of them anyway. So, hi everyone, welcome back. I figured today would be a great time to be talking about some of the things that I hope to make and create this year. I have seen so many videos both on TikTok and on YouTube of people just sort of shouting out the projects that they hope to get to, and I just felt really inspired on my own to share some of the things that I hope to get through. This is my list as a somewhat beginner, and I use somewhat because if you've been here before, I have been on and off crocheting and knitting for a long time and have recently picked them both back up so that they are in my arsenal a lot more regularly. So I already have some pretty good basic skills. It's just a matter of pushing myself to see what I could really build. I've always had a tendency to be someone who just kind of made the same typical things. I made little hats or I made little scarves like all the time. And don't get me wrong, I still love to make those things, but I always kept what I did very basic. And this year I really hope to push my skills. And also I wanted to talk through some of the things I would like to do in terms of sewing. That's another one that I have sort of been on and off with, but never really pushed myself to have like a really strong skills in it as well. And that is something that I'm not going to take as seriously, I would say, as knitting and crocheting. But we are going to dive into some things that I would like to do. One of my biggest goals that I gave myself this year was to make more and buy less. Yes, there's going to be some times where, you know, I might need to purchase fabric or I might need to purchase yarn, things like that. But I am really making an effort to be so much more mindful of that this year. And then you just get the satisfaction of being able to walk around and say, I made this really cute thing, you know, like I didn't go out and buy it or whatever. I think sometimes when we are in a world where it's just so easy to go out and buy things, sometimes we really lose out on the perspective of just like how expensive and how time consuming it truly is to make the things that we own and the things that we wear. I am dealing with some cramps today, so we are getting cozy with a heating pad. We've got some raspberry tea over here on the sideline. We've got my laptop right here in front of me so I can scroll through the things that I want to talk about. So I guess the best thing to do now is just to get into it. The first category we're going to be starting with is sewing. This is going to be my smallest one and the quickest one to get into. I am trying to put more of an emphasis on my knitting and crocheting, but I still had some things that I would really love to get to. The first one we are getting into is Poppet Crafting by the Beast Peddler. This little set has 5 patterns in it with a little step-by-step tutorial, and there's a little imp, there's a rabbit, there's a bat, there's a little goblin. It is just, it's really freaking cute. I really appreciate that the skill level is considered easy, so this actually might be one of the first sewing crafts I think I will get into. I am particularly fond of the little goblin guy. Now, I couldn't find the creator on TikTok anymore, but there was a creator for a while that was using the goblin from the Poppet Crafting kit. And they used like this faux fur fabric, and they had like this adorable little sewn in face. They did cute things like put a little earring like on the little ears and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I would love to screenshot and shout out that creator, but I can't find them anymore. So I don't know, hopefully they're okay. But it was that creator specifically because they were always sold out of the dolls that they made, and I mean anytime. Like, they made more than just the little goblin dolls. But I'm so glad that they shouted out that this is the pattern that they used, because I was just like, all right, then I'm gonna make my own. And I really definitely want to model the way she designed like the face and the little earring. I just can't wait to have like a little a little army of like cute little creatures like sitting around my desk, and I want to embroider them. I want to put jewelry on them, and I think it would just be really cute. And I know I am mostly talking about the goblin, but I definitely want to make at least one of each of these. Next up is going to be the mini slouchy bow bag by Faye Studios. Oh my god, I love the look of this one. I love the quilting that the creator created on these. Faye Studios does sell actually pre-made bags that you can purchase, but if you go on their Etsy, you can buy the pattern. It reminds me so much of that really cute Sandy Leon bag that was made with Bagu. I was lucky and I found on Depop, and I did make sure it was real, okay, don't worry. But the idea of being able to like make my own, especially this one right here that is like this green corduroy fabric, oh my god, it's so cute. I've never really quilted anything, and so I think I would really love to be able to do that with this bag. And there's just so many different possibilities with the fabric that you can purchase. Next is going to be the Ruby Vest by Sid Graham Patterns. I want a cute little quilted vest like this for so long. I love that this one comes with 4 different options. There's like 2 different neckline styles, whether you want like something more rounded and close versus something that is more like a deeper V-neck. There are 2 tying options as well as 2 button versions. And these next 2 are both from Sid Graham Patterns. This first one is going to be the Lane Pants. I love these. I love just an elastic waistband with an optional tie. You could sew on some like little cargo pockets on the side. There are just, I hate buying pants. I think I have to accept that I have always hated buying pants. The idea of just like making some pants with an elastic band and some pockets just sound amazing. The final one that I'm going to mention is going to be the Sid tie top and dress combo. This is another one that I probably will not get to this year, but I really would love to. The one that I'm mostly in it for with this combination is going to be the dress. I love the shirt, I love the vest. I think the top is just absolutely adorable, but to be able to make that dress would just be an absolute dream for me. Classic, timeless, so many different options with the colors and pattern of fabric that you want to use. I don't think you can go wrong with this one. So next we're going to be getting into some crochet. I do not think that crochet wearables are given enough respect sometimes, because I have found some that are just absolutely beautiful and they drape wonderfully, and I think they're going to be really cool. And this first one I'm going to mention is the Chess Not Knit Sweater by tinksthingsdesigns. I love a good checkered pattern. Something as simple as just the fact that the orientation of the squares is different from the green squares to the white squares or whatever color that you choose. Something that also stands out to me that I really like is that this is a style of crochet where it's meant to look as if it has been knitted as opposed to crochet. Next is going to be the Loopy Vest pattern by URTHbymorg. I love the loose stitching on this one. I love how it ties in the front. It looks just enough oversized. I think this one is going to be really cute over something like a bikini, but also this could just be really adorable over a cami. Or if you're just really brave, you wear a bralette and wear this underneath. Done. I have some green yarn already ready to go that I think would be really cute with this. This next one is actually one that I discovered literally just a couple of days ago, but I knew I had to have it on here. And it is the Fluffy Mohair Sweater by Kristine. This looks like it might be the creator's first pattern that she is selling, but I think it looks fantastic. I'm a sucker for a good fluffy sweater. The thing that actually had me discover this creator was she was actually just doing like a really cute like TikTok trend. It was her talking about like, oh, I'll pay for the coffee. Actually, I can't because her like bag is stuffed with like all of her like crochet needles and her yarn or whatever. It was really cute. but she wore a version of the sweater that she made, but it was big chunky stripes, and she did it in like this navy blue and cream color, and that was the one that made me go, what is that sweater? I need that pattern. There was so many people in her comments that were like, I need the pattern to this sweater and blah, 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 blah. And all you had to do was just click on her profile and you could see that she had made it herself like 2 videos right beforehand. Whenever I get around to making this one, I am definitely going to do it in the big chunky stripes, exactly like she did. This last one I'm gonna mention is another one that I don't necessarily think I will have the time to get into, and it is going to be this relaxagon shirt crochet pattern by carolinezuschlag. I love a good masculine button up. As someone who still has a very much tomboy style, the way I dress is very flexible. I have some days where I like a little bit more of a masculine fit as opposed to some other feminine days. I love the little accent of stripe that happens on the side. I think whenever I get around to making this one, I think I do kind of want to make it more of like a cropped, maybe not like a true crop, but like cropped right at the waist kind of fit, you know? But this one would just be so cool. And whenever I get around to wearing this when I go like roller skating, I don't know, I think it would be a really, really cool shirt to wear while I'm rolling around the town or at the skate park. Now we're getting into more of the crochet accessories, which is honestly what I plan to make the most of this year, at least on the crochet side of things. I really want to make this yarn dispenser by biyabimi. I love that it looks like a little hanging plant basket, and I just think it's really cute. I've always wanted a yarn bowl, and yarn bowls can get kind of expensive, okay? But I really love the idea of being able to crochet a basket for myself. And I love that it's hanging too. I could like hang it on like my little shelf over here. I could get a little hook. Making yourself a yarn bowl as opposed to going out and buying one, I think is just such a great option. This next one was one that was so popular last year. I never got around to making it, but I definitely hope to this year. And it's the Scoodie pattern by Aver. I think it's so neat. I love how it's basically just an oversized granny square that is being attached to a scarf. And I really love her YouTube, and I love the things that she shouted out that she would love to learn this year as well too. She makes just like a lot of really, really great content. One thing that I never ever got around to making with crochet are mittens, and I love the look of these ones by juicylucecreations called the Matidla mittens. These ones just look so cute. I love, once again, that they kind of give you that like sort of knitted look, so I think that that is going to be a great skill. These look like they work up really quickly. I particularly would love to do that version that she did on her TikTok. She used like a boucle yarn, and it was like this blue and green stripe, and that boucle yarn looked absolutely beautiful. I have never worked with boucle yarn before. It will probably be really difficult and very different for me, but I would love to, and pushing myself to get into other types and textures I think would be really, really good for me. Next on my list is going to be the Pixel Hood by Cosmaudi. This creator has 2 versions of this hood, one that is your typical crochet technique, and then the other one, the Pixel one, the one I'm interested in, is made with Tunisian crochet. I have never done Tunisian crochet. I would love to. We will see if I have the time and energy to even learn how to Tunisian crochet this year, but that's a goal and we're gonna try it, and I would really love to do it with this one. I love the result of the 2 different colors of yarn and how they look intertwined with one another. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. I love the ribbing, and I love the strings that are attached around the face opening. I don't know if they are just decorative or if it is a true drawstring. Either way, it doesn't really matter to me. Next on my list is going to be the scrunchie bag by Loopy Studio, specifically the crochet version. I love the idea of this being a potential scrap pattern for myself. I've never really made a lot of bags with crochet before, and this one just looks really cool. I love that there are 2 different lengths for the strap that you could do. And I just love how the opening kind of ties up just like a scrunchie. I think calling it a scrunchie bag is just the perfect little name for it. Something that I've always wanted to get really good at with my crochet is making amigurumi items. And I am really excited to try and get into this one, which is Olwen the Snowman by Moonas Miscellaneous. These little dudes are just so freaking cute. It's a 3-in-1 pattern. You could make it have like this cute little like pointy top hat. You can have the little slouchy nightcap. You can have it have a top hat. It is just absolutely precious and absolutely adorable. I love how it's designed in a way to make it almost look like there's eyelids and then the eyes are sleepy and droopy. I love the outfit and it gives me very much like a thrifted vintage doll. I want this little dude sitting on my shoulder. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know how to describe it better than that. The next one is going to actually be a book, and it's this book. It's the Crochet Cafe Amigurumi Project Pattern by Lauren Espy. Shout out to my friend, you know who you are. She got this for me for my birthday. I didn't realize that this had so many patterns in it. You can do entire meals, okay, like a bento box like this. And then there's breakdowns for like each little individual item. There's entrees, there's desserts in here. One thing that I can really see myself doing with these is I got this idea that like I could use these to almost like make my own cat toys. Obviously things like the eyeballs, things like that, I might have to rethink. Maybe I sew those on instead of using like beads or whatever. But I just think that would be something that could work really, really well, that I could like stuff catnip into for my cat. There's so many cute things in here that I wanna make, but like I don't have just endless storage to have like dolls upon dolls like everywhere all over my house. Turning them into cat toys and stuffing them with catnip would be a great use of my time, especially with a lot of the smaller items in here. Now, the last item on my list is going to be something that I don't have specifics for yet, but I would really love to make a small tapestry. Emphasis on small. I watched a tutorial really recently from a creator on how to read and also make your own. And I honestly hadn't realized before how simple the technique could be. And honestly, I would probably want to keep it as simple as just like making an 8-ball. And I think it would just be a very fun, quick project that I could put together on the side whenever I have some time. Now we're getting to our final category, which is knitting. I'm so excited to talk about knitting patterns. The first one I want to talk about is the Maxine hat by loopy. God, this one just looks so freaking cool. I love beanies. I am a hat person. I wear them often. And God, I just love how it's something as simple as a raised seam around the outside, and all of a sudden it's just so much more visually interesting. I just can't wait to knit a hat. I think it'll be fun. This seems like it is going to push my skills a little bit, and I do think it is just something that looks really effortlessly cool and can really elevate an outfit that you're wearing with it. The next one I want to do is the fat fur hat. This one is very popular right now. Apparently you knit this so that you make a giant tube and then you fold it in on itself. It seems like such an interesting concept. I just want to make the hat because of that alone. I love the green color and they recommended yarn. I love the wide brim. I even really love some of the reference pictures that use more of like a boucle yarn. That would be really cool to do someday too. Now, the first knitted sweater that I want to make is the Ideal Sweater by loopy. Again, loopy. shout out to you. I love the dropped sleeves on this one. I love how oversized it is. I love how it drapes. I love the fuzzy look to it. I will definitely be using the recommended yarn for this, and probably even the colors too, because that is what is attracting me to it. I love the design and the style of the stripes. I think it just looks so freaking cool and so comfortable. I like how it is considered like a novice plus, and I think that's gonna be really great for me as I go to make my very first sweater. I'm really excited that I'm at a point in my current projects that I feel like I am starting to plan what my first sweater is gonna be and start thinking about my materials and the things I need to get to set up for it. I would love to get into the Olga sweater by petiteknit. It's just a good classic striped sweater. Like, come on. I can't say much else. You know, I think that people either love petiteknit or they hate it. I'm in the boat of loving it. And I have had really good experiences so far with the first couple patterns I've been making with the Sophie scarf and the Sophie shawl. So I am definitely looking forward to diving into a sweater from petiteknit, as it seems like those are some of the next like really big iconic ones, and the Olga sweater is the one that stands out to me. The next two I'm gonna mention are both from Spektakelstrik. The first one I am definitely going to make sure I set aside time to make it, and it is going to be the stripe overload cardi. I love the collar, I love the ribbing on the edges, I love the little button placket, I love the stripes. Like, goddamn guys, I love stripes. What can I say? It's cute, and I think that this is actually the only cardigan that I have on my list, and I think that this one would be a great one to jump into for the first time. And once again, I like the yarn recommendation on this one. I love the colors on it. I am considering whether or not I want to actually get the branded buttons from Spektakelstrik themselves. I also really like the labels that they have too, the stuff that's like, I fucking made this. I'm sure you could make the labels yourselves too, but you know, I always love being able to support like a small business in that way. So I think the labels and buttons for them, I really would like to use for this sweater as well. The last sweater that I'm going to mention is going to be the wave sweater from Spektakelstrik. I'm probably not gonna have time to get to this one. I highly doubt it. I think that I already have too many sweaters listed for myself anyway. Whenever I really get into color work, I would love to dive into this sweater. I love the stripes on it. It is a little bit more on the difficult side to do, but when the time is ready, I will be so excited to dive into this one. And now we're getting into our knitting accessories, and the first one I want to mention is the Lily bonnet by Knitters and Friends. Bonnets are so big and popular right now, and to be honest, I don't blame anybody. They're so cute, and there's so many good styles and patterns that are out right now. And the Lily bonnet one is just such a standout to me with how big you can make the bow in the front with the long tail. It looks lightweight, but still comfy and warm and plush. And it just looks absolutely precious. The next one I want to do is the bunny bonnet by Megan Faith Make, and shout out to my friend May for letting me know about this pattern, because God, it looks more classic, more straightforward, but I love that little seam that sits right here just for like some slight visual interest. I think it just looks absolutely cute and something that looks very timeless, but also still very visually interesting. Just imagine this in a stripe. I don't need any more stripes, but just imagine. Just imagine. Just imagine. I swear that this is the last bonnet on my list, you guys. I swear. Next one is gonna be the Ellie bonnet by Leia, aka KissKiss.Rhinestones. I love the idea of just a cute bonnet that sits just right here. It looks like it works up really simply, like the direction of the stitches. Just looks like something really simple and really easy to throw on during the day when things are just a little bit chilly, but you know, you don't need the warmest thing in the planet. I love bonnets. I think they're so precious, but I do think something more like the Ellie bonnet is gonna be a little bit more every day, at least for me, and will be really easy to throw on and like elevate an outfit. Now we are getting into the next chunk of items, which is going to be socks. I have been so excited to start making socks. I would love my first pair of socks to be the Ultra Easy Socks by Easy As Knit. I like how it's just a simple stockinette switch, so that way all I have to do is just worry about more like the techniques. So I think it's gonna be fun. I can't wait to dive into these. And the fact that it's ultra easy right in the titles, that's all I need. What more can I even say about this? The next pair of socks I would love to make are the Lazy Socks by Poppy. I like that these ones are ribbed. Oh, and I love the accented little toe box. I love how there's an even like accented solid rim around the top. I think these ones will look so cute with my Birkenstocks when I wear my little balloon leg jeans and I wear my Birkenstocks and like just a peak of my socks are showing out from my heel or underneath my jeans. I think these are gonna be perfect. I like the striping, how it almost looks like a herringbone pattern, and of course the ribbing texture is just so lovely. I think that's gonna be great when I go to wear a shoe like that. So the very last one that I wanna talk about is the Frog and Toad Plus Clothes by Dot Pibbles Knits. All I can tell you right now is I'm choosing the Frog and Toad one, trying to get myself to pick any of these patterns from this shop. It is so difficult to me. I love the idea of having my own little gang of woodland creatures. Everything aesthetically just has the perfect hint of like a little vintage style to it and something that might be out of a storybook. And they all just look so precious. There's even a couple of crochet patterns for those of you that would prefer to crochet these. I'm absolutely obsessed with this shop, and I bought the Frog and Toad one for now, but I am telling you, I will be going after some more on here for sure. My heart can't handle it. I want them all. I want to make them all. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and listening to me talk about all of the things that I hope to make this year. I would love to hear any of your thoughts about some of the ones that I've picked. What are some goals that you have in your creations this year? And it doesn't even have to be specific patterns. Is it a technique? Is it a style? Please let me know. I'd love to hear and see what you all are thinking of making for yourself as well too. It's a great year to get into this kind of thing. Of course, it's such a popular thing to be doing right now, but I really do think that the world can be better for it, to encourage people, if it's possible and if it's within your physical abilities to be able to make things, that you do make them. It really helps you appreciate the hard work that goes into making clothes or anything at all, really. I know for me personally, I have a really big list, and I'm definitely going to be very antsy about doing the things that I want to do on it, and I don't expect to be getting through this whole list. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. In the meantime, please take care of yourselves, be kind to one another, love each other, and we'll see you soon. Bye.